Okay, well, welcome back. We are now in Stormwind. We're not in the trade district. We're actually in the Dwarven district. Eventually we will move to Ironforge, but for right now we've come over here because it is much quieter here than it is over here in the trade district. So over here in the Dwarven district you have both a bank and the auction house, just as you do over in the trade district. When Cataclysm first came out, this was extremely quiet because no one was using it. Things have changed now. More people do know about it, and you will find more people here, but generally it's not as busy as it is over in the trade district. One of the things you'll notice is that I have now activated some of the auction house add-ons, and I will do a separate video for each of them. But basically what I've activated is Auctioneer, which is the very basic program that you must have to efficiently work the auction house. I can't imagine being in the auction house and not having Auctioneer. The second program that I have activated is a program called Auctionator. It has some similar features to Auctioneer, but we're going to be using it quite differently. And I'll go over those again in a separate video, or videos. So, with that said, I've also activated another add-on called Bagnon. And what it does is it gives you one bag rather than individual bags. So, we're going to have a look at the things that were sent over. We also have to keep in mind that we only have 7 silver to work with, so we need to watch our deposits. So one of the things that we're going to be doing for absolutely everything is turning the duration for the auctions down as low as we can. Now you'll see that it didn't really have, I don't think it made an effect on, actually it did buy 20 copper for this one, which isn't a huge amount. These we're actually not going to post right now. Let's look at the copper ore. And I don't think changing the duration of that one's going to help either. It's not. Okay. It makes a difference for some things and not enough of a difference for others. So in terms of pricing, you have one stack of 20 here at a buyout of 1 gold 13 and a starting bid of 102. And then you have these groups of 5 here at 1 gold 20. Stacks of 5 for ores are popular because of prospecting, and that's actually something that we're sort of going to look at getting into on a low-level kind of basis, though not prospecting copper. You don't get a whole lot from prospecting copper. You'd want to be prospecting at least tin or iron, but that's something we'll look at after. And because of that, I really don't think it's more to our advantage to be posting in groups of 20 than groups of 5. So if we look at the lowest price group of 20, you're at this 113. The next group of 20 is 505. Now, we don't have any historical data for this server, so I don't know what the historical pricing is. So, we have a couple of options. we can undercut this stack of 20 here and have the cheapest copper on the auction house and be pretty sure that it's going to sell. Or we can undercut the next highest, which is this 505, or possibly even this 590. Well, we're not going to undercut this one. We're actually going to undercut this 505 here. We're going to go 5. We're going to go 5 gold even with a starting bid of 4. Yeah, we'll leave that at 473.19. And we're going to have 1 full stack to post, and that's going to cost us 1 silver. Okay. Some nice healthy looking prices for leather as well. Your lowest is this 95 here. Now one of the things is we don't have a full stack of leather. We're 1 short, and something like leather usually sells better in stacks. Sometimes for some of the leathers I would be willing to post in stacks of 5, but for a very low-end leather like this you really want a full stack. If there were a very, very, very incredibly cheap one, I would think about buying 1 leather to round mine out. Unfortunately, we have 6 silver, so we can't afford to do that. So let's just have a look at round leather. Apparently there's none up for sale. Now this may be interesting at some point in the future. Well, even now with their stack sizes. This is actually remembering the last price that I used for stringy wolf meat. Obviously I haven't sold any on this server, but there's another server where I sell stacks of 5 at 6 gold 95. That might be a bit high to start out here. That's the sort of price that you have to like move prices up to so that people get used to it. For right now, stacks of 5 sell best from my experience. I'm going to match the highest price that we have right now, which is the 2 gold 50. And I'm not going to worry about their bid price. I'm just going to undercut their stack size and leave it at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to post a full 3 stacks of 5 at 250. $3 silver for 48-hour posting. And according to this, it's going to be 3 silver to post. Guess all of this low-end stuff that doesn't really make much of a difference. Under the Auctions tab, you can see that here are auctions. that will be a very nice price for copper ore if it sells at that price. It seems a bit high to me. Certainly the other servers that I am currently playing on, you would not get anywhere near that amount for copper ore. But every server is different, so we'll see. So one of the last things that we want to do while we're here today is I want to do a scan of the auction house. You have two choices. You have a slow scan, which is this yellow triangle, or you have a fast scan, which is the double blue triangles. The fast scan can only be done once every 15 minutes. Yeah, once every 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the scan. Then what I'm going to do is I'll pause the video until the scan is done, and I'll be back. Okay, so even the fast scan took us a little over 5 minutes. The slow scan would have been like half an hour, so it certainly is quicker. One of the things that we need to do certainly for the first week is we need to scan the auction house at a minimum twice a day. I would actually aim to do it at least 3 times a day, maybe once in the morning when you get up, once in the afternoon at some point, and once at night before bed. Excuse me. Okay, so we've done our first scan, and we're going to come down to the search tab here, and we're actually going to do a vendor search. And what we're going to be looking for is things that people have put on the auction house for less than you can get selling to a vendor. It does happen. We're going to put this to 1 copper is a bit low. Let's say 10 copper. Oh, apparently I punched in 20, so we'll go with 20 copper and see if anything comes up. And we actually do have a couple of things that came up. We can't afford them, unfortunately. So for example, this here was actually put on the auction house for 2 silver less than its actual value. So its actual value is 2 gold. This here was put in at 50 silver less than its full value, so this is actually vendor at 3 gold, and was put into the auction house at a 250 buyout. We're going to go back to search, and I just want to so we're going to go back to the vendor search. And we're actually going to leave the 1 copper there and see what comes up. Okay, apparently it's still only those 2 things, so there's nothing really there for us right now. And nothing has sold at this point. So, for right now, where we only have the 3 silver, it's kind of a bit of a waiting game in terms of our auctions. I'm going to be logging out for a while now. It's almost dinner time, so I'm going to be back in this evening. I'll check on the auctions to see if anything is sold, and then we're actually going to have a look at some very low-level farming locations. So that's going to be it for right now. And video 3 hopefully coming at you sometime this evening. Alright then.